Welcome back to Axis Anime. My name is Henshin Ikeda, and today I'll be doing a walkthrough review of Naruto Shippuden episode 314. Now, if you remember from last episode, we were introduced to a new character, and his name is Yoda. Now, Yoda is a reanimated shinobi. Now, he can control weather, which I definitely found to be very interesting. But this kid is annoying. He keeps saying the same words in the flashback, cone, cone, cone. You want to assume that's his name, but it's not. Or maybe he knows someone that's named Cone, but I guess he doesn't. But hearing this kid say cone so many times, you just want to shoot him. Plain and simple, but that's just me. It's just me. But anyways, moving on past that, we were introduced to a new character. His name is Yoda. He can control weather. So what? But what makes it even more interesting, in the present, he has multiple copies of himself. Not one, not two, not three, 4. Yeah, 4 different copies of Yoda. Now, apparently he's a reanimated shinobi, which means he cannot control himself when he gets to see his old friends, which just happens to be Choji, Shikamaru, and the rest of the group. And they know him, which leads us into another pointless flashback. I know, I'm sick of these flashbacks, but you know what? It's another new character, and you know what? Everyone knows him, so of course there's going to be a flashback. But again, that's where the episode ends, and all my final thought and rating at the end of the clip, so stay tuned. But let's dive right on in. So we open up this episode still in the flashback with Yoda. Now, Yoda is meeting Sakura for the first time, and I was hoping for more of a dramatic build-up because it's Sakura. No. We were literally screwed over there. There was no dramatic build-up. It's just Sakura and Yoda. Hi, how you doing? Hi, how you doing? You know, that kind of build-up. Now, moving on past that, we find out Yoda, he notices Sakura likes a guy by the name of Sasuke. You know, we know the whole story. So Yoda dives right in, and he gives Sasuke flowers. And you can see flowers on his duffel bag, or his messenger bag when he's leaving class. However, we don't get to see any cutscenes where Yoda meets, Sasuke, in the village. Because remember, he's trying to stay away from the village because he might get caught by the Anbu Black Ops. So that's why Yoda doesn't go into the village. However, for Sakura, he went inside the village and he gave Sasuke flowers. We don't get to see how. The only thing we do get to see is Sasuke with pink flowers on his duffel bag or messenger bag. And, everyone knows that Yoda was the one that was responsible for that because he's the only one that overheard Sakura talking about Sasuke, and he's probably the only one that was capable of actually doing that. But still, we don't get to see a cutscene. I mean, it's not every day you see Sasuke with flowers that are feminine on anything. So I'm just curious what the hell happened there, but maybe that's just me. Now, moving on past that, we are taken to a little cutscene with Yoda yet again. Now, he did go into the village, but on a side note, he runs into Naruto. At least he notices him, per se. They don't really have like an open dialogue or anything, but again, Yoda runs into Naruto, who is just sitting on a metal pole staring at the monument of the past Hokages, go figure. And, that's generally where we open up with. Now, moving on past that, we're taken back to the present. We're no longer in the flashback, but that's short-lived, of course. But we are taken back to the present. Now, Yoda and his companions are fighting him, I should say. Now, Yoda, he's a reanimated shinobi, so he's attacking his friends, and I thought that was definitely worth mentioning. However, Sakura is just battling him, Choji's battling him. This doesn't look good in my opinion because this is a kid from their past, and they have no idea why he's been reanimated, other than to be a form of a distraction. Now, Ino is probably, by far in this episode, the brightest one compared to Shikamaru. So Ino contacts her father, the telepath thing, and she tells her father, I need to contact Sakura. And she's able to contact Sakura. They have a one-on-one, and they're discussing who they ran into. One thing leads to another, and now the whole group, each different group, Shikamaru's group, Ino, Neji, everyone in general, now know that they're battling copies of Yoda. We have no idea who's the original, or if this is a new jutsu he's using. All we do know is that each group now knows they're battling a different Yoda. Definitely worth mentioning. I'm like, now, is there a catch? Is there a plan? Shikamaru, speak up. Is this mic on? No, Shikamaru doesn't even have an idea. Nada. No plan, no idea, no goals, and nothing in this episode. Ino was the only one that actually did something worth mentioning, at least in my opinion. Now, moving on past that, we are taken to a little cutscene with Naruto, and he hears a whistling. So we finally get to see Naruto in the present, and he's like running to God knows where, and he picks up a whistling sound. Like, okay, it sounds like a western whistle, you know, like someone that's southern, like a cowboy. Usually you see these like in these old films, like a cowboy that whistles makes a really good whistling sound. And somehow Naruto overhears a whistling sound, and then Yoda appears. So like I said, not one Yoda, not two, not three, but 4 Yodas are now in this episode. So something has to be going on. I know he's reanimated, but how is he able to make copies of himself? I only thought he was able to control the weather. Nothing was mentioned that he could, make copies of himself. So I'm wondering if Kabuto messed around with his DNA or something for him to be able to make copies of himself. But that's just me. There are a lot of theories. That's just one. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. We don't know. But anyways, Naruto is now face to face with Yoda, and again, they both know each other from the past, and it gets even more interesting because we see Yoda use his whistling as a form of a weapon. I'm like, wait a minute, you're whistling and it's considered a weapon. Okay, Henshin, what's going on? Okay, well, I thought it was kind of funny, definitely worth mentioning. The whistle, the more Yoda was whistling, the more like these little cyclones started to form, like air, compressed air, and they were injuring Naruto. At least we do see Naruto get hit on the face with like a wind slash of some sort, so it's definitely effective. Now, obviously, Yoda doesn't want to do this because, Naruto's his friend, everyone else is his friend, so he's doing this against his will because he's a reanimated shinobi, and Kabuto is definitely one pulling the strings. At least that's the idea. But once we see Naruto and Yoda face to face, we enter a flashback. Apparently, this flashback is when Yoda disappears. So apparently, in this flashback, Yoda disappears from his group, from Sakura and everyone else, and everyone within that little group blames Naruto for Yoda's disappearance in this flashback because they assume Naruto probably saw Yoda in the village, during the whole Sasuke thing and whatnot, and probably, said something to Anbu Black Ops or something along those lines. So now, Shakamaru, Choji, Ino, Sakura, they're blaming Naruto for Yoda's disappearance, and that's not right. I mean, first of all, Yoda is an outsider. He's not even a villager. And the first thing that comes out of their mouths is, Naruto, what did you do? Instead of asking him politely. And eventually Shikamaru feels bad because he's like, we just attacked someone that was part of our village without taking his feelings into consideration and so on and so forth. So they do feel bad. So we see Naruto running off. Now, coincidentally, Naruto runs right into Yoda. And you can see Yoda, he's crying, he's scared, and he says he's scared. So Yoda is now face to face with Naruto in this flashback, and they finally get to see each other, firsthand instead of just Yoda seeing Naruto off in the distance. Now, it's kind of funny because now we're taken to a flashback within a flashback. So we see Naruto actually sitting down, looks like on a metal pole, and he's whistling, and he's looking at the monument. And yeah, we see Yoda. And Yoda can't whistle, of course, but he does notice Naruto, and that's how Yoda knows Naruto. However, Naruto, I'm afraid, still doesn't know Yoda within that flashback, if that makes any sense. But again, that's how Yoda knows Naruto, because he's seen him before. It's just that Naruto never noticed Yoda to begin with. So, kind of a pointless flashback within a flashback, but sorry, I digress. Moving on past that, we are taken to a little cutscene with Yoda. Now, Yoda is kind of transforming in this flashback because we see a snake. I was going to say snakes, but there's like a purplish black aura or chakra like right in the back of Yoda, and a snake appears, and I don't know if it's from Orochimaru at that present time or maybe Kabuto. Time and place right now within this flashback is kind of iffy because they're children. You'd assume Orochimaru probably had something to do with Yoda. Theories. There's a small little theory before I get off too much in a tangent there, but I think Yoda may be part of an experiment from Orochimaru. Maybe. That's just me. I mean, small theory, but I'll get into that later, of course. But anyways, we do see a snake appear from Yoda, and Naruto notices this right away, and he flicks the snake away without even thinking. And this is when Naruto was a kid. He barely even knew Orochimaru to that extent, at least to my knowledge. And he flicks the snake away, and then eventually that leads up to Naruto helping Yoda out with whistling. I know we went from something very interesting to something very pointless just because Yoda doesn't know how to whistle and Naruto does, so Naruto helps, Yoda whistle. And apparently they become friends and, yada yada yada. It leads up to Yoda now in front of I want to say his name is Akimaru. I hope I got that right. Now Yoda is now face to face with Akimaru, a little dog, and apparently he's attacking Akimaru and his master. His master, of course, and he's attacking them because he doesn't like dogs. So every single time Akimaru is like right there, he attacks him with thunderbolts and whatnot. I'm like, what the hell? It's a little dog, you motherfucker! I don't care if you are a little cute little kid. You don't attack a dog with a damn lightning, whatever technique. But anyways, it was kind of funny. Now after everything's been said and done, we see Yoda with Sakura and everyone else, and again we're still in this flashback. They're still kids, and they're playing Kick the Can. Wow, really? We're gonna play that old school game? Okay, so they play Kick the Can, but the end result being Yoda is actually playing, and he somehow gets away. I know he's playing the game and kind of wanders off a little bit, and he runs into the Anbu Black Ops, and that's where the episode ends. As for my final thoughts, well, obviously the Anbu Black Ops did something. That's kind of the build-up. Anbu Black Ops took Yoda from his friends, and his friends noticed that, and they couldn't do anything. But the bigger question, what did the Anbu Black Ops do to Yoda within this time frame? Now, we see him as a child in the present, which means he probably died as a child in the past. But what did they do to Yoda for him to die like that? There's no build-up. Now, moving on past that, of course, theories on Yoda being maybe a member of the Akutsuki, probably not, no way in hell, but a different theory would be maybe he's Orochimaru's experiment or something along those lines. We really don't know. But the whole snake thing and the blackish purple aura is kind of like, what the hell? That was, so I can't wait to see, maybe there's going to be closure on that. And, well, that is it for my final thoughts. Not a lot there. Moving on to my final rating, 2.5 out of 5. I'm giving this a 2.5 out of 5 because there really wasn't a lot of emotional build-up. In my opinion, there could have been, but I didn't really see it. Fighting, no way in hell. Comedy, definitely was there. There was a little humor here and there, but that's about it, and maybe a little bit of information about the new character, but again, that's generally about it. And that ends it for my walkthrough and review of Naruto Shippuden episode 314. Again, final rating 2.5 out of 5. Definitely comment down below, let me know, thumbs up, thumbs down. Definitely subscribe, check me on Twitter, and follow me if you like. Let me know what you thought of this episode, and let me know what you think's gonna happen in the next episode that's coming out. But again, guys, that ends it for now. I gotta go, I gotta hit the bricks, and before I go, I gotta say it, and I always say it, you can't stop the access, but you can watch the feed. I'll see you later, guys.